We are live. Welcome, everyone, to Hack Shack Studios. I'm Thibert, and I am playing catch up today. I actually took a little time off over the weekend, so there was a whole list of things I wanted to get done, and I did not get done because I was goofing off, just having a good old time. Actually, part of it was work, but part of it was just hanging out, playing around. Sorry, I just ate something, kind of picking it out of my teeth. So, hi to all. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. And we have Vilnid. Hey. Hey. What's up? We have Shinto Ketchup. How you guys doing? How are you doing? Well, I'm going to play catch up on this thing here. Let me see if I can find this button here. Yeah, I was supposed to finish it up later. What was it, Friday when I was working on this? And I ended up eating dinner, had a great dinner with my wife, went longer than I had expected, and then did a Pontificators. And then I went on to Mike S. Miller's, auction show. And I didn't get back onto this piece until now. So I'm going to finish it up for you. We have Comic Book Bob. Hey, hola. So how are you guys? I think I should probably start working, since this was a catch-up, a Shinto catch-up stream. Oh, John Jones, you are the greatest. And you know what? I haven't heard that dog bark all day, and now it's barking. Why life? All right, today I'm going to get into some rendering. I'm going to try to move a little quicker than usual, mainly because I have another piece of artwork that I would like to try to get done. And I got a batch of pages out to Narwhal Chrono Mechanics pages today, so I'm very, very happy. I think I got one out last night and two out this morning. So anytime I can keep that ball rolling, I feel good. I don't know if you guys are like me. When I get stuff done, I actually feel good about myself. What does that say? What does it say about me? My wife's even more like that. It brings her great joy. Man, in California, it's like 90 degrees out. It's crazy hot today. I know I shouldn't complain because there's probably people in pretty bad weather. California doesn't get too bad when it's hot, unless there's multiple days. So if there's just like one day that gets really hot, it's okay. But when you get multiple days, things don't get a chance to cool down, and it becomes pretty unbearable. So I don't think we're going to get fall or winter this year. Although I think I read that it's supposed to rain here Wednesday. So that'd be nice. By rain, it'll probably just drizzle. because that's how. Wow, this pen is not. I think the ink is too thick. It's been a couple days since I added ink, so clean the nib and add some ink. Ooh, we got some people in the chat. Look at that. You guys, I'm going to try to get like this thing kind of under control, and then I'll come back to the chat. Like I said, it's kind of a catch-up, but I thought I would hang out with you guys in the meantime. So yeah, I go on Mike's auctions sometimes. Is it weird that I go on there and I don't auction anything? Is that weird? Maybe I should start auctioning things. Auction my soul. All right, like I've told you before, you got to kind of move around as an inker because you have to give things a chance to dry. So that's why I'm over here, because I need to get my hand out of the ink's way. Get a little bit of the hair done here. I'm having a hard time seeing some of these lines. I'm sure you guys are too. It's so weird the way that camera, I know I complain about it all the time, but you should see the level of light in this room, or I should say the level of dark, because it is dark in here. So I'm basically inking in the dark. So I got a lot of little nicks and things. Like I've said, on the female form, you don't really want too much rendering, too much detail. Because it looks bad. For some reason, women look better with less rendering on the face, less rendering on the body. Let me make sure I don't have any wet ink here. Yeah, I don't make the rules, people. I just try to obey them. So, yeah, I wanted to finish this up over the weekend and do a live stream with you guys, but I ended up taking the weekend kind of off unexpectedly, but it was good. It was all good. Okay. I think I got everything structured here. Okay, bring this over. Thicken this up a little bit. Ooh, well, I'll read the chat and then I'll come back. I just saw the sword. That's going to be fun. Funtastic. Let me see. Do I have this where I want it? Probably not. So you guys probably Just saw me inking the very tip of it. Yeah. Okay, right there is good. So there we go. All right. Last minute adjustments. All right, I'm back. I got my glasses on. I can read now. I can see the screen. I can read. Okay, whoosh. Okay, Charles London is in the chat. Art, will you be doing some commissions? Sorry, I was chug-a-lugging. I was thinking of opening up the commissions list soon, maybe closer to Christmas. And also, I am working on a, what is it called, Black Friday art sale on my Art by Thibert. And I believe the link is in the description. It might be under newsletter, but that'll take you to the site as well. So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, Charles, sign up there, and that's where I announce when the commissions open up. So, and I have two other commissions. Well, I have three other commissions. One of them's penciled. I think I showed that one off. It's the rogue drawing, and I did get a little bit of time to spend on another commission, which is a full 11 by 17. Actually, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4. I have 3 11 by 17s and the rogue drawing left to do. So I was thinking, and they're all in various stages of completion. I was thinking once I'm done with that, that I'd open up the commissions. So I hope that answered your question. Guilty dog barks the loudest. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It takes me 3 weeks. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, I haven't been just working on this. So over the weekend, I was finishing up a lot of Chrono Mechanics stuff to get to Narwhal, but for some reason, that doesn't feel like work to me. And it wasn't like I was sitting here for long periods of time either. So I was kind of goofing off with the family. Oh, hello, hello. If you add one more hello, it'll be like the Three Stooges, weren't they? Like hello, 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 hello. Awful Redneck Gaming, thank you, and hello. Art don't know the story, so I apologize if it's a taboo subject. What happened to Kiss Corner? What happened to Kiss Corner? It is not a taboo. It just kind of, I think everybody was just kind of getting burnt out on it. So that's kind of what happened. I have talked to the guys. We have a like private message group that we talk every once in a while. So Kevin keeps us updated on his Kiss cover band, which is Revenge, and Scott posts up there every once in a while too. So even Taylor will post. So we've kept it kind of alive behind the scenes, but nothing in front of the camera. Oh my gosh, 107 degree. That is hot. I think Adam is Australia. So yeah, Adam, I'll have this finished up today. I know I said that Friday. It was, oh yeah, see, it was 28 degrees over here the weekend, in the 40s today. See, that's why I can't complain too much. But I think it's just going to be today. By Wednesday, we're supposed to get rain. I hope we get real rain and not stupid California rain. My daughter wants to live in places like this, but I don't know. I think it'd get old real fast for her, where it snows and rains a lot. 38 degrees. Oy, oy, oy. That's nuts. Yeah, I don't know what would happen. We get cold weather every once in a while here, but it happens so few times a year that it doesn't seem that bad. Oh, Comic Book Bob, I'd auction my soul if it got me subs. My soul's just taking up space anyway. So, do you have a YouTube? Is that go to Comic Book Bob's YouTube, check him out so he doesn't have to sell his soul. We don't want that to happen. Yeah, I don't know about the math, but if Jim says it, then it's probably true because Jim would know. Even though he has like a real fine balance, he's able to render a woman a lot more than most and pull it off. Ooh, we have Sonic Goon in the house. Sonic Goon. What's this for art? Looks great. I am all about the sword and sorcery. Yeah, you know what? That was my big thing when I got back into comic books from when I was a kid and I was older. It was Savage Sword. It was the John Buscema sword and sorcery adventures that actually got me back into comics. Ooh, Super Chat in the house. Art, your Indiegogo perhaps. Time to tease a new angle in your campaign. New perk, reveal vaguely the conflict female character, something to add to it. Yeah, we just added some reviews from some famous people. And you know what? I'll see if I can find that, and I'll bring that into the chat here. But yeah, my wife and I have been talking about this. So thank you so much for the advice, and thank you for the super chat. We have Andrew J in the house. Howdy, y'all. Art, I want to design a wedding invitation, please. Oh, I don't really do that. It'll be comic book, like people getting punched and things. Pow, sock, Zoom. Call him Chuck. Oh man, jalapeno. Come on, man. You're starting this up again? Oh man, I think it was it Friday? The milk was giving me a hard time in the auctions. Yeah, okay, Shinto. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. It will go into Oodles of Doodles 2. And it's time for me to get back in here. And I need to remember those reviews because I'll have to find them and bring them in because I think they're hilarious. And so we're trying to get some attention. So any suggestions, you guys, of stuff that maybe you'd like to see in the Chrono campaign? Something that can be added? Because some people think the simpler, the better with these campaigns, and they don't want them to be too convoluted or too busy. What I do want to do is get that trading card artwork up for you, because I think that the trading card artwork would be very cool to see. So I have to do a little research, find out what size and all that other stuff, and then start coming up with some designs. Because right now I just kind of have a slot there, like just an opening for the trading cards. But I think it would help if you guys got to see how cool they actually looked. So that's probably going to be my next big venture. But I don't know what else tiers. The only thing I can think of is possibly sketch tiers, things like that, drawing. raffling artwork off. A little shadow there. And I'm going to bring some blacks in here. I don't want to make it completely solid. And then I do not want this to be too heavy, so I'll hatch into the solid black. So there's that. I didn't want to get too heavy into shadow here either, but it looks like it needs a little something. A little something. Not much, but just a little. Just to weigh it down a little bit. Yeah, I'll think about that. You already planted that seed, so that was good. I'm already starting to think about what we can add to the campaign. I was thinking about traditionally in comic books that like more cartoon oriented or cartoon looking comic books are a little bit harder to sell, and it's kind of been traditional in the industry. There's always exceptions, but I think that it's always a challenge to go outside the norm. Everybody says that I want something different. I want something unique. And then you kind of create it, and then you scratch your head when it doesn't fit the template for, whatever's popular. And then you just kind of don't it just doesn't immediately catch on. So it becomes a little bit a harder sell, because I know that some people think that Chrono is like a kid's book, but it really isn't. It has adult humor in it. At times, it's actually pretty raunchy. So, it's a matter of trying to, I guess, educate people what it is, and then keep explaining that, and keep talking about it, and hopefully it catches on. Because I think, traditionally speaking, books that don't follow like a usual pattern always have a little bit, more of an uphill climb to reach its audience. But I do believe, this is in my heart of hearts, that things that are outside the norm, a concept or an idea, a song even, that it takes longer for it to catch on just because it doesn't fit a formula. But once it does, it actually has more impact on the zeitgeist and on people, and has more staying power. And so, this could be just a justification on my part, trying to, justify Chrono and everything else. But I do believe that it is kind of outside of the norm, and that the concept is pretty outside the box, and the artwork it's not challenging, but it is different than anything I've done before. So it's challenging in the sense that it's not quite, like this Red Sonja drawing. And it's not realistic. It's way more stylized and cartoony. And those things, traditionally take more time. to catch on. And so I'm very patient with it. I believe in it with my heart, with all my heart and soul. I love these characters in the Chrono Mechanics universe. I love writing them. I love drawing in that style. There's nothing about it that I don't like. But I do understand too that it's a little bit of a harder sell. But I do think it's when you guys see it and you read it, it's going to be so entertaining. I laughed my ass off just drawing it and writing it. So if it cracks me up, then I'm pretty sure it'll translate over. So yeah, that's my thing. But man, when cartoon books hit like Bone and even like, you know, Doug's Earthworm Jim, you know, these things do so well once people catch on to what they are. Yeah, they do really, really well. And I think that Chrono is one of those concepts that can also just adapt into video games and comics, cartoons, just about anything, really. The concept, I think, is pretty strong. It's a high concept. So, yeah, I'm patient with it. I kind of knew going into it that it was going to be a little tough. And, but like I said, I mean, I really do believe in it, and I'm going to give it as much of a chance to exist and survive as possible. And hopefully, you know, if there's anybody out there that is thinking about it or is like, oh, well, cartoon books or whatever traditionally don't do anything for me, or it's really beyond that. I mean, once you start reading this thing, it's not going to feel like a kid's book. Trust me. It wasn't written as a kid's book. I think kids can kind of enjoy some of the stuff in there, but it really isn't. I mean, it's more of Simpsons, Futurama, that type of sensibility. And I don't know, everybody also says they just want fun, non-political books that are just fun, that they're just pure escapism and all that. And man, I defy anybody to read Chrono and not get lost in it, you know, and be entertained. Because it has everything that I like in an action adventure comedy. Nobody's done anything like that in a while. I know that there's Galaxy Quest that's got some kind of documentary. I want to see that. I thought that Galaxy Quest was just the right amount of homage to Star Trek and being its own thing. That movie was really good, but that was like the last like really cool comedy of that, like more action adventure type comedy that I've seen. The Galaxy, or what is it called, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think the first one is the closest thing to any of that kind of tone that Hollywood has hit in a long time. I think the weird thing about Hollywood these days and about comedy and these type of stories is they almost feel like when they write them or they create it that there has to be a nod, like they have to let you in on the joke. Like they have to go, oh well, this is the thing we're kind of making fun of, and it's kind of ironic. Oh, look, isn't this silly? They did this in the 80s, or whenever. And so there's like this weird, like, that's why I don't think, like, I hope I'm not stepping on any toes, but like Family Guy and those Seth, what's his name, MacFarlane things are that good. They're really just snarky, kind of like, oh, remember this? Wasn't that stupid? Oh, remember this? Wasn't that dumb? Like, I don't know, man. That seems pretty easy. It seems pretty easy humor to me. I never thought it was all that clever, but like something like, Galaxy Quest, that came out of like love. That thing's not snarky at all. Like they're not really making fun of it per se. They're almost paying tribute to it. And there's a really fine line difference there. And I think what I used to find with comedy is even Ghostbusters and things like that. Those guys were playing it serious. Like they weren't playing it like ironic or they weren't committing to it. That world, that Ghostbusters world in the first movie, it was real to those guys. Like they played that all like very sincere. And I think because of it, they just really committed to, even though it was outlandish and silly and like at times just farcical, it worked because those guys were committed. They were committed to the scene. They were committed to whatever was happening in a very serious way. I always say this about the genius of the Three Stooges. What people don't understand is those guys are committing to it. It's not a joke to them. When they're slapping each other and hitting each other with wrenches and all that, that's real. They're like serious actors that are doing like nutty stuff, but they're playing it, as if they were dramatically acting that stuff. And I think that's kind of the difference. When you look at something like Big Trouble in Little China, those guys are committing to that. They're taking those situations seriously. Like they're taking it like this is real to them. And so like these really odd, like crazy stuff happens, but the actors are taking everything seriously. They're not nodding at the viewer and going, "Ha, isn't this silly?" They're not doing that. It's not ironic. It's just matter of fact. It's just happening. And so the humor just kind of comes out of that. And I think the first Guardians got that. Like it didn't seem like it was making a joke out of it. Like the characters were really committed to it. It felt serious. It felt real. And then the second Guardians felt it almost felt like a parody of itself. It kind of lost some of it because it seemed like it was almost like it was making fun of itself. It was nodding. It was too self-referential. It was kind of getting snarky, and I think that's the part of the humor that we're missing. And Chrono Mechanics is that, like, it's, I guess maybe it's because like Hollywood feels like they have to make reference to it. They just have to, otherwise it becomes like where no one can believe it. Like it becomes like hard, like they feel like it's hard for people to accept it, and unless you're kind of being ironic with it. But I think if you're very matter of fact with it and you commit to the story, and then you tell your actors to act like this is real, like don't play it up as a joke. This is real drama to you. This is really happening. this is life or death, or whatever it is that's happening. And I think you would find people would like it, or at least at the very least, it would feel unique or different in the landscape of all, like, everybody being ironic and self-referential and self-aware of everything that's happening. Because I think that gets old pretty fast, and I'm already kind of tired of it, to be honest. But like the Chrono characters, man, those guys are committed. It's real to them. There's some crazy stuff that's happening, but they're not, hey, check this out, or isn't this silly? It's real, and it's really happening. So I like that. I gotta make a decision here. I was going to put a little halo around the figure and attach it to this box. Let's see if I can do this the way I want to, because I want it to be kind of choppy. Let's see. I have a really faded line here, so I can't really see it very well. So I'm kind of just making this up with the ink. Let me step back for a minute. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But how do you guys feel about that? Like, I think when Family Guy first started, I thought it was kind of interesting, but then it got old. Like, there's no heart, there's no character, there's no real plot or story. They've obviously were taken kind of from The Simpsons, with the idea, but The Simpsons kind of at times strangely has a heart or a message, or something else going on. But Family Guy, really, it doesn't seem like there's much substance to it. It almost feels like those remember that MTV show where it would be like, I love the 70s or whatever, or the 80s, and then you'd get a bunch of snarky comedians in there and they'd go, hula hoops, who the hell used these things? Were people dumb back then? Like, it's this weird kind of snarky stuff. So like Family Guy always seemed like, oh, remember this, or whatever it was, remember how stupid that was? And then you're like, yeah, it was dumb. I mean, there's some other humor on that show as well, but in a nutshell, that's kind of what that show breaks down. And I didn't know I was that opinionated about that show. So if I'm stepping on toes, I apologize, because I mean, if you like it, you like it. I mean, that's fine. I mean, obviously somebody likes it. It's still on the air. I heard that Orville, though, that show is really good, and that's a Seth MacFarlane show. But also, when it came out, I really did feel like it was, like inspired by Galaxy Quest. But I haven't watched the show, so I don't really know what it's like. The Orville. So don't worry, guys. I'm almost done. Yeah, I'm going to go to the chat. There's a lot of wet ink here. I should let dry before I stick my hand in it and smudge it. One thing about when you're throwing down a lot of ink, it takes longer to dry. So you got to be patient with it. All right, I'm scrolling back. Back to the wall. I am playing with ketchup. All right, here we are. I was really drunk that night. Oh, all in good fun, Mr. Fart. Yeah, you're definitely a guy that, comes up with one joke and plays it to the hilt there. Jalapeno milk. But hey, any humor is good humor. At least that's what I'm going to say right now. I think your campaign will pick up once Black and White are received. I agree. It's really strange. There's a little bit of guilt by association. There's a lot of Comicsgate books that haven't fulfilled, and that's them, and they should be accountable for that. But human nature, we kind of glob everything into a group, and so sometimes other people get thrown into the mix. Even though Black and White is in fulfillment right now, there's enough people that have backed other campaigns and are a little bit gun shy about that, and I totally understand. So all I can say is, if you like me, you like the channel, and you like my artwork, and you do get Black and White books, and you have ordered them, when you receive them, please put them up on your Twitter, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, wherever, and tag me, and then I'll make sure it goes up on mine as well. And that maybe slowly we can turn people around and let them know that the Black and White books are coming out, and that I'm good for it. And one other thing, let me get I sent out 3 pages to Narwhal. So he gave me 4 pages over the weekend as well. So I'm looking through my book here. And so we have up to 27 penciled, inked, and colored. He's got 29, 31, 32, and 33. So he has 4 more pages. So what is that? 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So that's like 31 books. That's well over halfway with the Chrono campaign, or the Chrono book itself, getting done. So yeah, it's moving really fast, and we've all been really dedicated to getting the book done as quickly as we can without sacrificing quality. And so far, I think we've been knocking it out of the ballpark. I think we do have a variant cover tier. Well, I know we have a variant cover tier, and I do believe we have a 2-pack as well. So here's one of the variant covers. If I have time and you guys aren't bored, I'm going to finish up all the backgrounds and put the blacks in, and then get that off to the colorist so I can take care of that part. Where's the back of her armored bra? How is it holding on? Oh, I see. There's no straps. I see now. Yeah. Like I guess right here, right? All right, Sheldon Martin, keeping me honest. Oh, Sheldon, you silly. Let me see here. Get my pencil out. That was a good observation. And now that I'm looking at it, it seems really obvious. I'm going to ink these in just to show my appreciation to Sheldon. So thank you, brother. Man, good call. Good call, my friend. Okay, what is this now? Okay. Conk Bob, yeah, I was thinking art could do justice to coloring book pages. Spice them up, might be unique without taking too much time. Is that like a coloring book version of the comic itself? Is that, or would it be drawn in a coloring book kind of style? Because there's a lot of rendering in the Chrono Mechanics stuff. I was thinking about a black and white version of the book because the hatchwork and the detail is pretty killer. I want to make sure that people can see that. I like color as well, but the black and white artwork, the ink stuff is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a sci-fi action adventure comedy. So, you know, it's got time travel in there, so it's definitely sci-fi, but I would explain it sci-fi action adventure comedy. Hey, we got Justin McClure. What's up? Ooh, Caesar. Caesar's in the house. RT Bear is patient. It's a patient bear. Hey, Justin. Ooh, we have Fraud 79. There is a Chrono Mechanics fan page. I just posted up the reviews, which, you know what? I'm going to grab those right now and show them to you guys. See if I can do this without doxing myself, as the kids say. The kids today. Oh, my computer's being really slow. What the heck? Wow, this is going to kill the stream. That's weird. Okay, let's try this again. There it goes. Thank you. I have a weird version of Photoshop too. It's weird. I don't like it. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Okay, it was here. Okay, I did it. Okay, let's screen share now. I'm going to share what I just found with you guys. So these are the reviews. The reviews are in, you guys. So this is what we just posted up on the Chrono site. So also under the video, there's 4 cogs there. So there's, I believe it's these same reviews. But yeah, these just came in. We have a quote from Einstein, a little quote. We have one from Midas. We have one from Joan of Arc. And we have from Edgar Allan Poe. So Einstein says Thibert makes time travel relatively fun. And then under the Einstein description, this is how he refers to himself, smarty pants scientist. So hey, Einstein is a smarty pants scientist. And so then we have this book is pure gold. No, I touched the damn thing. How does it end? Midas. Very rich king and hands-on kind of guy. Get it? Because everything he touches turns to gold. Then we have the Joan of Arc one. This book lights my fire. Teenager and heretic. I posted this on Twitter, or maybe it was on the Indiegogo page, and somebody said, "Too soon, man, too soon for Joan of Arc." Yeah, I don't know when. You know, what is the time on too soon? I don't know. Everybody's time would be different, right? So some would go, "Yeah, it's perfect. Do it now," and some would go, 1,000 years, then you can do it. I don't know. I thought it was funny. And you know what? Joan said it. I didn't. So who am I? So then we have Edgar Allan Poe. The writing on this book is unsurpassed. you hear that? Like, that's pretty good endorsement. I will write nevermore. Edgar Allan Poe, writer of scary stories and bird lover. Yeah. He likes crows. He likes crows. Yeah, so there you go, man. They're in. The reviews are in. And that's just the beginning of it, you guys. The reviews have been coming in. We have Jedi Masturbator. It's probably because most of the people in mainstream entertainment hate what they're working on. Yeah, maybe. Oh, wait. Snarky gets you only so far. Wait a minute. You guys have been busy here. Yeah. Yeah, we did send stuff. I think we sent 3. We had 3 deliveries last week for Black and White. And I think my wife said she went to the post office today. So I think the post office is open today. So is this Sheldon talking about Family Guy? Maybe. I guess at times it can be clever. And snark only gets you so far. I think so. Yeah. Hey, Blue Sea Hill. Welcome to the chat. It's cool that you're making it a bit comedic. That setting could make for a crazy drama. Yeah, the thing is, Chrono Mechanics is fun. It's funny. I don't think you can tell good time travel unless it's kind of done comedically, especially in an ongoing way. I kind of like the way Rick and Morty does it. And to be honest, it kind of angers me because when I was pitching Chrono Mechanics around Hollywood, they were asking me, how does the time travel work? How does the time travel work? And I go, well, there's no real hard, fast rules. Whatever's funny and whatever is situational, that's what we'll do with it. And I go, well, you would be contradicting yourself. And I go, yeah, that's where the funny aspects would be. And I think that Rick and Morty, not necessarily that it contradicts itself, but it goes all over the place. And it seems like they're writing themselves into a corner with the time travel. Like sometimes they actually die in the past, and they had a scene where they were burying themselves. It's pretty twisted, but it just kind of throws a lot of the time travel conventions and rigid ways of looking at it out the window. And they do it all for humor. So for humor's sake. So as long as it's funny, I think it's fine. And that's what I remember telling the executives. And they were just like scratching their heads like, what? They actually wanted something more tangible, to explain it. But I think that leaving it open gives you way more potential as far as what you can do story-wise in an ongoing way. And with the machine going kaflooey, it can contradict itself based on the machine not working. So it doesn't really have rigid, I guess, time travel rules like Back to the Future would or Terminator, because it's a big machine that's generating and regulating time. So if the machine breaks down, then, all kinds of anomalies, time anomalies and things can happen, which leads to situational humor, which gives us story. So I do remember trying to tell them that, and they were scratching their heads like, we don't get it. We don't get it. Yeah, there's a Hack Shack Studios page too, I think, on Facebook. And then there's a Black and White Facebook page too. So there's a Chrono page. There's also a Chrono website, chronomechanics.com. Oh yeah, thank you, Sheldon. Yeah, I appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are the best, man. So supportive, even silly things like, oh, you forgot the strap, you know. So that's all good. Just Jack. We have just Jack in the chat. Sometimes the second book gets more buzz from word of mouth. I've missed a lot of first issues and look for the tiers with reprint on a second campaign. Yeah, and my wife and I, Pamela is her name. We're writing Chrono together, and we do a lot of these projects as a team. And we were talking early on that Chrono was going to be a little tougher of a sell. So, we're talking about possibly keeping it open longer as far as a in-demand site. However, if we do, we're probably going to pull down the stretch goals. So the stretch goals will only be accessible to the live campaign. And possibly no trading cards. So we're talking about it because we want to make the in-demand store different from the actual live campaign. So if you guys are waiting for an in-demand, you'll be getting less of the freebies, most likely. So the stretch goal freebies. Oh, you found the Chrono page. Cool. All right. I think it's in there. Let me check the hold on for a minute. I'll screen share this with you guys. Let's see. Chrono Mechanics is a self-contained 48-page graphic novel. However, during this campaign, we are hoping for a 60-page. This lighthearted action-adventure story will give you the answer to the age-old question, what if Looney Tunes meets H.G. Wells? So, I don't know. It doesn't say funny, and it doesn't say comedy, but it does say lighthearted, and it does say Looney Tunes meets H.G. Wells. So, it doesn't say it flat out. But even the write-up, being a chrono mechanic isn't an easy job. If you've ever had to repair something, then you know that anything that can go wrong will, and in the most painful and time-consuming manner possible. Now throw in 4 individuals with massive egos who are racing against the clock to repair time before merging timelines, make the whole Earth go kaflooey. And you begin to see where humor and slapstick fun come into play. Oh, and yes, kaflooey is a technical term. So I think if you read the rundown, it paints the picture that it's a comedy. So I know I don't mention it a lot, but maybe I should mention that it is a humor comic. So where are we now? We got Sheldon. I don't know. What are we talking about? Family Guy? I don't know. Sheldon, clarify. Or is that Rick and Morty? Oh, I see it now. Yeah, I read it out of order. Rick and Morty is way overrated. I only saw the first season, and I thought it was pretty good. And the reason I bring it up is because of the way they handle time travel. Like it just does whatever the hell it wants to do. You know what I mean? And I got jealous because they actually got their show made, and the executives that I pitched Chrono to, they just scratched their heads when I said, yeah, we're going to do whatever's funny. Yeah, I got that, Sheldon. Thanks. Where's your super chat? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know where my super chat is. I read a super chat already. Let me go back. Go back to the wall. Yeah, I read the super chat. I only see the one. So if there's one I missed, I apologize. Okay, I'm going to get back. We're almost done with this bad boy. I just saw a line that I did not ink. Okay, and then this inside line, I'm going to do really thin and possibly slightly broken because I want it to look different from the other. Keep the break there. Okay. Yeah, so it doesn't seem like you guys are into the Rick and Morty action. That show is kind of messed up, though. I have to admit. There's some messed up stuff that happens on that show. But yeah, I only saw the first season, so I'm not sure what season they're on right now. But I kind of liked it. Okay, so you guys can start seeing the lines coming together here. Once again, interior ones, a little bit of a break. And the outside one is a little thicker than the inside one. Yeah, so like I said, a lot of wet ink, so I got to be careful. It's tricky. So yeah, Chrono Mechanics is a funny sci-fi action adventure. It's humorous. Boom, baby. Come on, ink dry. So the key to these borders and stuff is a lot of movement and varying pressure on the nib. This stuff's a lot of fun because it's just throwing down fun lines. It's not structured or anything. So you don't have to focus and concentrate too much. Just kind of have fun moving the nib around. So There we go. So, so close. I can almost taste it. That's always been a weird saying. So close. I can almost taste it. Wonder where that comes from. Some of these answers I don't really want to know because they'd probably be horrible. Okay. So let's go with this. And then thin this out because it shouldn't be as thick. So boom, baby. I think other than the blacks, and I did get my brush out. I think I brought it over. Yeah, I did. There might be a little bit of details here and there that I'm going to throw in. And I believe I said I would do some gray wash, give it some gray tone, but I'm probably not going to do that right now. So one of the things you want to do is erase your inks pretty well before you put your blacks down with the brush, because brush doesn't put as much ink down as a nib does. So if you erase over a brush line, it pulls up some of the ink. So that's just kind of a inker tip there. So come in and erase before you put down the finished blacks. It'll just help it look better. And even when you scan stuff, those inconsistencies show. So you don't want those black inconsistencies to be in your final scan if you're working for reproduction. So let's get this party started. Sometimes I miss the pencil because it kind of gives it a kinetic look. You see like these like lines moving around, and they give it kind of this kinetic movement. And then when you erase them, they're all those little scratchy lines are gone. It's kind of like Disney animation, like 101 Dalmatian, when they started just kind of shooting off of the pencils. So you got all this like kinetic line work, all the structure lines and the sketch lines were all in there. I kind of like that look. Okay. There's one. If I'm going to do the gray, I like to do this where I put a little bit of a holding line here. So when I put the gray wash in there, it'll have some place to go. All right. Let's bring this together. Shall we? There's not a lot of blacks on this piece, but the ones that are there should help make things pop and give a little bit of a dimension, a little bit of an extra dimension, I should say. But your ink piece really should stand without the blacks in it. So you could see that the piece was already looking pretty three-dimensional before the blacks went in. So not to pat myself on the back, but that's kind of when you can tell your inks are working. Okay, let me scan for any other blacks, little X's. I'm probably going to do some more detail here, but the main reason I wanted the brush is I'm going to practice doing something first. Yes. So there's these little action lines that I wanted to put in here. And my brush has too much ink. So I like to do little extras here, give a little, I guess bring back some of that kinetic energy, just little random pieces that you can add. And I think that possibly this could use a little bit more pumping up. Pump it up. Give it some expression, some energy. Yeah, I don't want to go over all of it, just certain places, just to pull up a little bit more weight. Also, so that line that's behind it stands out. So there's two different line weights going on. One of the things that will kill most pieces is when there's line weights that are similar right next to each other. One of the things you always want to remember is to try to make sure you have a variety of line weights, because if you have two line weights that are similar right next to each other, it's boring. When you can have various line weights around, like, you see your thick and you see your thin there. You have a thick here and you have a thin there. You have a thick here and you have a thin here. So it's kind of a rhythm, but it also it doesn't get boring for the eye. So there's a variety of things. There's things happening that are different. If everything's the same, then it can look a little bit boring. So one of the things I like to do, and sometimes I'll do this after, is I'll bring some weight underneath stuff. And what that does is you notice I only put it here, and right in here is it gives depth to things. Okay, I believe that's it. Like I said, there'd be little things I'm going to probably add later, but as far as the main thing is concerned, it is done. So I hope you guys liked that, enjoyed putting that together for you. So let me see. I'm going to go back. The second series of Rick and Morty was great. Season 3 fell flat. Hopefully this new season picks up the pace a bit. That was Adam. Yeah, I've only seen the first season. I thought it was pretty insane, some of the stuff that they were doing. It kind of boggled my mind, actually. It was kind of messed up stuff, but in a way that you haven't seen done before. And I thought it was funny. Sometime in a second. Okay, it gets more buzz. All right, I think I'm caught up. Oh, okay. So we got a clarification. Yeah. I think Family Guy is a little snarky. Rick and Morty is it. There's a character that's snarky. That is his name Morty. No, Rick. Rick is the professor dude, right? It's kind of like Back to the Future. So you have the professor, and then you have Marty McFly. So it's based on those two, but it's really messed up. So it's way overrated. Okay, I think I read those. Sexy. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I heard that Dan Harmon he's a little, he's got opinions. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this sounds good. I like the show. It does have its moments, and yes, they are degenerates. Well, isn't it really just the one? It's just Rick, I think, right? It's the father or the grandfather, basically the Doc Brown character. Yeah. Oh, the Kung Pao sauce. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes, with the exception of me, because I'm a good guy and interesting, sometimes the more you get to know about creators, the worse it is. Especially when they're very, very vocal about their politics or religion or sexuality. Oh, okay. Sonic Goon says Rick and Morty is entertaining. That's not my point. It's just that some fans would like to pretend it's super intellectual show when in reality it's just yeah. It's just yeah. I never thought it was intellectual. I just thought it was it's just out there, man. It's just nuts. And yeah, I don't know. Highbrow, smart, intelligent. I would not say that show is any of those things. Okay, I'm going to try to figure this out. So Sheldon Martin says, Art, how do you decide what the buy should be for something like this? Or do you even think about it? What the buy should be? Like the piece that's up right now, the Red Sonja? Like how much it would cost? Yeah, clarify that, Sheldon, for me. Like, is it like to try to figure out a price of the artwork? Clarify, and then I'll answer your question. Oh, this guy is good. I hope you're talking about me, Peter. Peter's 90. Art has refused to tape 500 times. Nice. Adam, looking bloody brilliant. I love it. Well, let me give you a close-up on it, Adam, since this is yours. All right. My camera I can't really put heavy lighting on it because it'll just blurt it all out. So it does have a little bit of a shadow tint on it. Let me take this away so you can actually see it. So yeah, it's a little bit more than a bust. Like I said, sometimes when it takes me a little longer to get to these, I do a little extra work on them. And also, I wanted this to be extra good because it will go into the Oodles book. Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff 2, Volume 2. Ooh, Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff 2, Volume 2. The two different spellings of 2. All right, Shinto gives it a thumbs up. Sorry, background. Oh, okay. So let me go back. What did you say before, Sheldon? Where the heck was it? Trying to pay attention anymore. Careers outside. How do you decide what the should be? Okay. Oh, the background should be. Well, in this case, I mean, on some of the not tiers, but on some of the commissions, it has limited backgrounds. Like if I do 11 by 17, it'll have limited background elements to it. And these commissions usually don't have any backgrounds. So I don't really think of like a stylistic box or something like that around the character is a background. It's just kind of a way to give a little bit of extra and dress it up. So that's why I do it. Yeah, background. Oh, we got Arthur Brown in here. What's up? I just noticed I got some smudges there. So, yeah, very cool. The first one was just Oodles of Doodles. I think it says in Other Stuff too. So maybe I should say that for Volume 2, but I didn't think that far ahead. Sometimes you put stuff out and you don't know how it's going to do. And then you realize it does gangbusters, and then you're like, well, maybe I should do more. Give the people what they want. Yes. So it's 4 o'clock. Do you guys want to see me put this together, or should we kind of call it a day? Because I got my brush here. I could, at the very least, while you guys are deciding, put my blacks on here. Caravaggio has these black and white striped pants. So this piece is going to go out to Perea. And he's the artist that colored up black and white and did a fantastic job. He did a fantastical job. Yeah, book came out so good. I read it over the weekend. There's always parts when you're you'll look back at your own artwork or your own writing and go, I could have done that better. I could have done, whatever. But there's only maybe 2-3 parts that I wish I would have taken more time with and kind of worked out a little bit better. But I enjoyed it immensely. I know that doesn't mean anything if the writer enjoys his own work, but when I read it, it felt like it was holding together the way it should, and read in a very coherent way. Like, you knew what was going on, you knew who the characters were, and you knew everybody's motivations, and that's not as easy to do as it seems sometimes. And I believe it succeeded on that level. I've been working with a friend. He's a screenwriter. His name's Matthew Hillary. And working with him, as we did a Chrono Mechanics script together. That's what I'm trying to figure out how to bring into the campaign, is I would love for you guys to be able to read that script. But, working with him on that and him asking like a lot of the right questions and figuring out how to structure the story up and, for a 2-hour movie and all that, I learned a lot working on that project and working with him. He's a pretty smart dude. Yeah. Pretty cool. Okay. I think his stripes are done. The shadow here is done. There's a couple blacks in his mustache. His mustachio. Okay. I'm gonna throw. Yeah. A couple hatches here. Well, I think the figure is done. So there's some cog details and stuff that I'm going to do. I'm trying to figure out how heavy the blacks are going to be, because in the cogs, because it's pretty open right now, and I kind of like it being open. I'm kind of digging the openness. So he's got some hatches here, and I kind of like them. They're not quite Chrono Mechanic-y enough, so I had to tweak them a little bit. There's a hair. Always look at your tip before you ink. Hairs are the enemy. Okay, I need to clean my tip because I need to do some fine line details on his mirror. Yeah, Caravaggio's a little vain, so sometimes he'll carry around a mirror, and that's what this is right here. So he'll look at himself every once in a while. It's just what he does. We can't judge. Okay. I think that's it except for the cogs. So I'm going to bid you adieu, my dear chat. I've been trying to brand fans of Chrono Mechanics as cronies. Hey, cronies. I know that's a word for old people. Somehow coming from me, it fits. It works. Okay. Keep going. We have Carry On. While this looks nice, that's a commission. Yeah, the Red Sonja Victor is a commission. And Adam is in the chat, or was in the chat. He probably belled now that I'm done. He got what he wanted. Okay. Oh, look at that. Thank you so much. I forgot to do it. Arthur always reminds me. You know what? You got a great name, my friend. We Arthur's going to stay together. My mom was the only one who ever called me Arthur. I had a friend that would say it, but he always did it ironically, like Arthur. Yeah. You got to take a good look at yourself when you're good looking. What is it? Princess Bride? Like, surely you have a dizzying intellect. Awful redneck gamer or gaming. You got to take a good look at yourself when you're so good looking. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Oh, wait. I just saw, who was that? It just shifted. Oh, cool. That was a fun show. It was a 1-day show, and I have pictures from that con and from the New York trip. My daughter and I went into New York City for 2 days, and then we went out to Oyster Bay for a day to look at the haunted sites there on Oyster Bay, and had a ton of fun. And I have photos, but I haven't posted any of them. Thanks for the stream. You are welcome, Sheldon Martin. And thank you for the help with the strap. On Red Sonja, good evening, Art. We have Cam. Okay, I want to build a grocery store specific. Okay, Title 10. I want to build a grocery store specifically for Sun City. That's the only place they can shop, and no one else but Sun City members can shop there. I'm going to call it Chrono's Crow. Cool. Let's do it. Isn't that weird? Like, that's pretty funny. Like Uncanny Kodiak, and then it's like Arthur Bear or Arthur. I guess you'd be U Bear. Arthur U Bear or K Bear. Or Qbert. You can't call him Q Bear. He doesn't like that. Or Q Bear. It's Qbert. I was Thibert most of my life. Yeah, that's a tale for another day. All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for letting me draw for you and hang out. I always appreciate it. And if you haven't checked out Chrono Mechanics, please do so. It is the passion right now of mine. I cannot wait to get it done. It is close to being done. We are way over half. What did I say? Like 32, 33 pages done out of 48. I'm really hoping we can get to those stretch goals, though, because 60 pages is the optimal page count for this story. So I would hate for it to have to, kind of run short there. But yeah, and thanks to everybody for the support. And thanks to everybody for backing the book that has so far. I really, really do appreciate it. I knew it was a little bit of a hard sell coming into it, but I believe that the proof is in the pudding. Once I prove to you guys how amazing this book is, you guys are going to be throwing cash at me. Just throwing. You're going to be wadding it up and just throwing it right at me. Yeah, hopefully, don't wrap it around a rock, because that would hurt. That would hurt so bad. I wouldn't like that. But yeah. So thank you again, and have a good Monday, all. Take care. Oh, wait. Cam came in too late. Well, hey, Cam, I'll show you real quick. I'll update you. So this is the, oh, you know what? This is actually good, because I did not say who the penciler on this is. This is the great Carlo Barbieri, and he was kind enough to do the pencils on this for me. And like a super stripper. Yeah, just wad it up and throw it at me, man. I don't care. I'm not too proud. The worst part is when they have to, like, after the song is done and they're done dancing, they have to pick up all the bills from the stage. It's pretty sad looking. Yeah. They should have some guy that just has a big broom, one of those whisk brooms, and just kind of whisks it off stage, and then they can pick it up off stage, behind the curtain. Otherwise, it's kind of sad. Thanks for giving me that one joke, Cam, before you took off. I appreciate it. Yeah, so this is the great Carlo Barbieri, and he did the pencils on here, and sent it my way for a variant cover on the Chrono Mechanics campaign. So I'm inking this up now. I'm pretty close to getting it done. Pretty much he's done. Caravaggio's done. I just have to do some detail on the cogs. And what I was thinking of doing, I did have some of this stuff planned for you guys. Here's the cover, the Chrono Mechanics cover. But if you can look at the cogs, see how I did the details on them? Yeah, I was going to do them in a similar fashion with some cool textures and stuff. Yeah, so I was going to do that. So yeah, I was working on this a little bit, and this is the main thing I was working on. So Red Sonja commission, and pretty much got it done. I'm going to do some gray wash on it, some ink wash a little later, and then it will be done, and I can move on. So there's that. So that should catch you up. And of course, Chrono Mechanics. Chrono Mechanics is live now. We're about halfway through the campaign. So we have a lot of things planned as far as stretch goals, and hoping that we can continue moving in that direction and getting to those stretch goals, because that's where the big fun happens. The really big fun. Okay, art makes the best cogs. You got it. It'd be pretty weird if I did a time travel story where the big machine and I couldn't do cogs. That'd be sad. That would be just sad. Pretty faces on the pretty ladies. Yes, thank you. All right, you guys. Oh, wait. I just clicked on this accidentally, but we'll read it. We need the Thibert team to pump up this campaign. Yes. Pump it up. Chrono Mechanics. Yes. So very good, you guys. Have a brilliant Monday. Get some food. Hang out with friends, loved ones. And I'll see you hopefully tomorrow. I have some stuff to work on tomorrow as well. So I'll be streaming again tomorrow. So thanks, guys. Take care.